everyone, welcome to my online class. In the first chapter of class 10 science, that is chemical reactions and equation, I'll be teaching you how to balance a chemical reaction. So without wasting any time, let's go and learn how to balance a chemical reaction. Balancing a chemical equation. First I'll write the equation and then we'll start. This is copper and we reacted with oxygen. It gives copper oxide. This is copper oxide. Now for balancing a chemical equation, we have to balance all the elements of one side. The number of atoms of elements of one side should be balanced or should be equal to that of the other side. Okay, so let's take this element copper. Let's take the number of atoms of copper in the reactant side, which is in the reactant, and in the product side. Now in the reactant side copper is only 1 and here also copper is 1. So as an element the number of atoms of both the sides are 1, so it is balanced. Let's take the next element, which is oxygen. Now oxygen in the reactants side is there are 2 atoms of oxygen, but in the product side it is 1. The number of atoms of oxygen in the products is 1. Now whenever, and this is true, so whenever the number is less, we try to raise that number. So we have to, in order to make it balanced, we have to insert 1 2 here. So we can always add or not add in this part. This is called the coefficient of copper. Now let's say once we have added this 2, what happens? Now oxygen is 2 here because this 2 is applicable for copper also and oxygen also. Oxygen is 2 here, it is balanced. But what about the copper? Copper becomes unbalanced here. In the product the copper is 2. So we insert 1 2 here. And so in the reactants the copper is 2. It is balanced. 2Cu plus oxygen gives 2CuO. It is balanced. Let's take another equation, formula. Another equation. CH4. This is methane. We reacted with oxygen. What forms? CO2 plus water. This is the equation. This is called the skeleton equation. Now we have to balance. Now how do we balance? We have to take all the elements, that number of atoms on the reactant side and the number of atoms on in the product side. So let's take for carbon. Carbon in the reactant side and the product side. The carbon is 1 in both, no issues. Let's take hydrogen. Hydrogen is 4 here, 4 atoms of hydrogen here, and here there is only 2 atoms of hydrogen. And let's go to oxygen. Oxygen in the reactant side is only 2, but here oxygen is 3. So you can see that hydrogen is not balanced. So hydrogen is 2 here, it is less, but 4 here. So what did I say earlier? We have to make whatever is less, we have to make it more. We have to increase it. Instead of, we cannot decrease this, we have to increase this because this 4 is here. We cannot make the changes here at the foot of, this is the formula for methane. We cannot make any changes here. So what we can do is we have to increase the number of atoms of hydrogen. So what do? We put 2 here. Now when we put 2 here, hydrogen becomes 4. But what about the oxygen? Oxygen becomes, here is 2 atoms of oxygen here, and this 2 is applicable for this oxygen also. The oxygen becomes here, instead of 3, it becomes 4. Now oxygen here is 2. So we add 1 2 here. In the coefficient, this is the coefficient, the number which you write in front of that particular element, that is oxygen. So now oxygen becomes 4. Oxygen is balanced, hydrogen is balanced. So if you see it is 1 molecule of methane, 2 molecules of oxygen, carbon dioxide 1 molecule and 2 molecules of water. Now the third one. Third, I'm running short of space, so I'm going to rub this, and I'm going to take a little bit that is iron. This is iron, and you react it with water. What forms? Fe3O4 plus hydrogen is released. Now, going by the rules which I told you earlier, let's take one by one the elements and the number of atoms in the reactant side and the product side. So let's start with iron. Iron. Okay, iron in the reactant side and product side. Iron is 1 here, product side it is 3. As you can see. Hydrogen is 2 here, and here hydrogen is 2, it is balanced. Now comes oxygen. Oxygen in the reactant side is 1, and here oxygen is 4. So what do? We start with the iron. Iron is 3 here, so we have to make this 3. So we insert 1 3 here. So no issues, no other things are disturbed. Now, so iron is balanced, both 3. Then hydrogen is balanced, but oxygen is not balanced. Oxygen is 4 here, and oxygen is 1 here. So we have to make it into 4. So we have to insert 4 here. So oxygen is balanced now, but the hydrogen is not balanced. Hydrogen here becomes 4 2s are 8. So, and here it is 2. It is 8 here, and here in the product side it is 2. So what do? We have to insert 1 4 here. How do we make this 2 convert into 8? What number should be multiplied? So that you get the answer 8. That is, you have to multiply this 2 by 4. Now it becomes 8. And so the final is 3Fe plus 4 water will give you Fe3O4 plus 4 hydrogen. So it is very important to balance a chemical equation so that we can give justice to the rule of law of conservation of mass. So law of conservation of mass says the number of atoms in the reactant side should be equal to that of the product side. Matter is neither created nor destroyed. So in keeping with that rule, law of conservation of mass, we need to balance a chemical equation. I hope you have understood it. If there's any query, you can always ask me in the link that is sent below. So I hope you have all understood. Keep your understanding graph high. Thank you very much.